breath, and then change your energy. Yeah? And that's what we learn on our mat. We learn to practice on our mat. Right? Name the one person that you're most mean to.
My mom.
Okay, your mom. All right. Who else? Who's the one person you're most mean to? Ooh.
My sister.
My sister. My boyfriend. My mom. My brother.
My sister. My mom.
My mom. My sister. My mom.
My mom.
I wanna ask a question. Why is it everybody's pissed off at a female?
It's a reflection of ourselves.
Exactly. Because it's a reflection of ourselves. Now, all of these are females, and before you act out to your mom, your sister, you're most mean to who? You're reflecting yourself. You're most mean to yourself. Right? And didn't we prove that when we went into the exercise of the naked mirror exercise? You remember that? How many were able to stand there for 5 minutes being loving to yourself? You were? Good. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's amazing. Right? Because most of us beat ourselves up. This is what our dialogue sounds like. You stupid. What'd you do that? God, I can't believe you did that. My God. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Oh, that was like, oh my God. He's probably going to think I'm really retarded. You know. And we do that all the time, don't we? That's practicing non-ahimsa to ourselves. That's practicing violence. That's tearing ourselves down. And the first person that you have to practice ahimsa to is yourself. Because if you can't practice it here, that's why you don't practice it to other people. And the scary part about this is we all think that we're old enough to have a boyfriend and a girlfriend and all of this stuff, and we know how to love somebody, and that's really cool. But the truth of the matter is you don't know how to love. If you can't love yourself first, you shouldn't even be out there faking the love to somebody else. Because the love starts here. Because I guarantee you that how you love yourself will be equal to how you love somebody else. You don't love something in yourself, you're not going to love it in somebody else, because everybody is a reflection of ourselves. That's scary. But think about it. Let me give you a perfect example. When I became aware, when I was in my teenage years, I had this fear of being fat. I didn't want to be fat. I didn't want to be fat. I hated it. And so I would go to the mirror and I would, and that's because I was a dancer. So I grew up with that. I was a professional dancer, so I grew up with the fact that, if you were overweight, you wouldn't be the principal dancer. Because you just couldn't, whatever, right? So what happened was then I had this fear of becoming fat. So what did I do? I hated people who would eat more than they were supposed to, because I felt it in here. And I hated people who were fat, and I would look at somebody who was fat and say, how could you love yourself? But what really I was doing was talking to me. That person was just a reflection of me. Right? Because I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself fat, so I would look at a fat person and I'd say, how could you love yourself? But it was reflecting back to me. So we have to be careful. Those little things that we don't like in other people are usually the things that we're afraid that we might become, or the things that we don't like about ourselves. Close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Think about one thing you don't like about yourself. Remember one thing that you could change. What would it be? And then think about how that triggers you, because that's a button. That triggers you in somebody else. Right? all get something we don't like about ourselves? Did you see how you don't like it in somebody else? Right? That's the hard part. That, my friends, is the hard part. Because as long as you don't realize that you see it in somebody else, you don't even realize. Because we're all a reflection. So we have to practice ahimsa starting here first. And then we will reflect it back to ourselves, and we will see it in other people, right? How many let me give you another example. How many of you guys like to watch somebody eat with their mouth open? No? Why? Guy gordo, it's like gross, it's like, right? But have you ever gotten near somebody and you don't even realize what you're doing, and then they look at you and they go, you're chewing in my face! Because we're doing the same thing and we don't even realize it. We have to begin to realize that it starts here. And that's what the Yoga Sutras tell us. It starts here. It starts right here. Yes.
No, can I share something?
Sure.
It's about where you set up on loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to realize that, I cannot love somebody else, for example, a relationship, if I don't love myself first. And to love myself means to accept myself just the way I am, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If I have flaws in either plane, either physical, mental, or spiritual, or emotional, I need to accept those flaws and go and embrace them. Because if I don't accept something that I don't like about myself, I'm not going to develop, I'm not going to grow as a person. For example, a fear, right? I'll give you an example. I decided not to remove the hairs in my body, except for this one, but this is something else. This is another example. Why? Because it is who I am. You always talk about loving yourself, honoring your body, right? And accepting your body. For example, the looking yourself in the mirror. How am I going to love my body if I don't accept it just the way I am? If I shave my legs, that's not honoring, that's not respecting it. For example, Earth. I'm going to give you an example of Earth. Earth grows grass, right? And almost everywhere, and I'm pretty sure everybody accepts that. But if I go to a place in a field, I see grass, I'm like, I don't like it, so I cut it off. What happens? It grows back, right? It's not going to stay that way. It's the same way, and any girl knows this. When they shave their armpits, what happens? Does it stay like that? It grows back, because that's the natural way. We don't see it as natural, and we cannot see it as beautiful because we've been conditioned in this mentality that it's not beautiful, that you have to be a certain way to be beautiful. If you're not, you're going to be rejected. So people fall under that condition. They dye their hair, they wear makeup, they do all these things to their body that are not natural to it. For example, makeup is very poisonous to the skin because they do not accept it, they fear it. So you cannot love yourself and you live in that fear and do not, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just not being respectful, and I came to understand that. And when you told us to read our dream and get 1 to 10, I chose a 10. And my dream is to become love, to give love to other people. So when I become love, I'm going to become that example in life. And when people see it, they're going to be attracted to it, and they will be inspired to go to that, to become love itself. Because when everybody becomes love, we're all going to live in unity, we're all going to live in peace. So when I scale my dream 10, and in order to become love, I have to accept myself just the way I am, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And if I don't like something physically, I cannot deal with it because I am the way I am for a reason. And emotionally, if I change my inside, I can change that, and my thoughts are also going to change with that, to have more thoughts of love, freedom, peace, unity, etc. So that's basically my point. And I'm going to use my body as an example. The head thing, it's a form of saying I break the change of vanity, because vanity in a woman is being enslaved to it. You're enslaved to vanity. I have to look pretty, I have to wear this, I have to look good for other people because I need to be accepted, I need to have friends, or oh, my boyfriend's not gonna like me. And if you're so afraid of your boyfriend or a certain guy not liking you for who you are, then you're not gonna find real love with that person. And that's always gonna be true. So I'm using my body as an example to take that message across. And the message is not to see with your eyes, but to see with your heart. I just wanted to share that.
And that's